Hello everyone, doing my usual focusing. Hi. So today is going to be about the time that I nearly drowned. And I'm not joking, I actually nearly drowned. It was probably one of the scariest things ever. Like, I thought I was going to die, seriously. But, you know, I look back and I think it's funny, because it kind of is. And it happened when I was about 11 years old. So I was young, okay? I was clueless about life and everything in general. And so it was camp. And if you're not from the UK, then over here, when you reach your last year of primary school, you go on a camp, which is, you know, full of fun things, and do like canoeing, kayaking, mountain biking, high ropes, rock climbing, you know, stuff like that. The stuff that sounds dangerous to kids, but it's really not, you know, like they feel if they've done it, wow, we've done something amazing. No, but it was a good 4 days. It was fun. I can still remember it today. It's like how many years ago? 7 years ago? Yeah, but 7-8 years ago. Yeah, but that day, we were told we're gonna go canoeing, okay? So I was like, great, you know, fun. I've never done canoeing in my whole entire life, and because I was impaired, I was stuck with this, you know, helper teacher person, okay? And this woman, okay, she didn't give a shit, right? She just comes to me and she's like, do this, do that, you know. Oh, you're not gonna get hurt. Like, I know she was trying to help, but she was for one, she was smaller than me, and she thought she was amazing. She thought she was some big teacher. She literally wasn't, and she had the most annoying voice ever, and her hair was so spiked. It was ginger, and she literally looked like a hedgehog. That was her name. I can remember that. Oh, I got my cat here. Oh, you won't be able to see her, but she's sweet. She's washing herself at the moment. Yeah, anyway. So I had her helping me. Well, helping. She would call it helping. I'd call it basically bullying me into do something that I don't really want to do. So I get on the canoe, and my friend, I'm not going to tell her name, my friend's there. She straight away in 5 minutes cuts her thumb and starts screaming bloody murder and decides to piss off out of the bloody canoeing lake. So I'm there like completely, I have no friends because I literally had no friends in primary school. So I'm there, you know, doing what I'm supposed to do. I thought I was doing it right, I guess I was doing it wrong. And then suddenly the instructor dude decides to say, oh, everyone, like, you know, how can I explain it? Go like, make a line where you all next to each other so you can hold on to each other's canoe boats, right? So we did that. It took literally 15 minutes. So we do that. And then he goes, right, I have a task for you. You stand up in the canoe, you do a circle round, and then shout bogeys. Okay, all the boys love that. Yeah, so I was like, okay, seriously? And mind you, right, this lake, okay, had a massive ship. Like, you know those oil rig ships? It was massive. I was like you could just, it looked like you were looking out to sea. It was mental. I don't know where I was. It was bad, and the water was freezing. And why do they choose to have camp in September, October time? It's freezing, okay? So anyway, I'm like, okay, I don't really want to do this, but fine, because I was peer pressured by all these bloody shitty little students that were just mean, you know? So I stand up and I'm like, I'm not going to be able to do this. And I'm halfway round, you know, I'm going really slow, and once I turned the other side up, I was like, I knew it, I'm gonna fall. I'm turning around, but just as I'm gonna shout, I fall backwards into the water. Okay? Did I even know how to swim? Yeah, I knew how to swim. Like, but I was in shock, and the water was so cold, and we had this tight wetsuit, and by the way, mine was yellow wetsuit, okay? I don't know, I look like a real idiot. And I fell in, and for some reason, there was like this netting on the bottom of like the lake, and I didn't even know this until my foot decided to get caught in the netting. So I'm there, like, at the bottom of this lake with my foot caught in it, and it's like they haven't even noticed. I'm there, like, you know, going, it's helping, like, I don't even know what to do. My hands are flying around, and then suddenly, all I see, because obviously you can't see clearly, this shadow of this massive thing coming down at me, like, really pulling me up, and I decide, okay, I'm safe. But you know when you're like underwater and you're just about to lose your breath, and I literally just got up at that time, and oh my god, I was like coughing, and no one seemed to give a shit. Like, obviously the people there, like the adults, but all the rest of them were still stood up shouting bogeys. And I'm there like bloody drowning, okay? Like, it sounds so stupid, but I honestly was so scared, and that is what happened. And then afterwards, I'm like, like I said to this lady, this help lady, I want to go back to my dorm. You know, I was freezing cold. Like, I was like blue. My friend told me I was blue, and I was shivering. I felt frozen. I thought, I want to go back, or at least like take me back into like the coach what we came in. And she's like, no, you'll be fine. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm freezing. And she was like, no, you just stay here. And then they decide to get all the boats on this mini little pier, sit us in, and like push us off into the water. And I'm like, are you serious? And like, we have to stay up in the boat while we're getting pushed into the water off this tiny little pier. So I'm sat up in it, and I'm like, this can't be happening. I've said, if I fall, you know, that is just going to be my luck, really. And what happened? He pushed me in, and I fell in again, didn't I? This time I did not get my foot caught. Everyone was laughing, and that teacher was like, oh, what's wrong with you? She was so horrible, like, she was so mean to me. I don't even know how I put up with that woman. But when I left school and I came back, this when I was like 16, and I went back, like, because my sisters went to that school as well, and I went back for a play, she saw me. She was like, oh my god, Megan, you've changed so much. Like, she's always been a bitch, I don't know. But anyway, that's basically what happened. So then we all decided to have a shower, okay? And like, just get me back to warmth. So we'd go and have a shower, and everyone's getting naked, and I'm feeling so uncomfortable because I was so fat, and I was just the fattest kid in that whole class. Typical, I would be the fattest kid with the eyesight problem and just the clumsiest person ever. I was a disaster, seriously. And so we're having a shower. They're all laughing at me. They're like, oh Meg, are you okay? You know, that kind of like, are you okay? Like, we don't really care, we're just like saying it just to bloody get attention on you. I don't know. But it was funny when I think about it. It's funny when I think about it now, but at the time I was so scared. I swear that I'm not scared of water anymore, but I swear it left an effect on me. I don't know. So yeah, we've had a shower and we go back, and I'm still freezing cold. And then we were doing this thing where we had to write what happened, like, in our day. Like, there was like a diary room. We had to write like what happened in our day. So I had to literally write everything. This helper was like, you have to write everything that happened. I said, I don't want to, you know. I was like, I didn't even want to go through that ordeal again. Like, bring it up in my head. She was like, you have to write it. You have to write it. Write it down. She was so mean. So I wrote it all down, and I started crying, and she's like, what's wrong now? And then my nose started bleeding, and she grabs my head, pushes it back, and goes like that. And I'm like, everyone knows you shouldn't do that. You literally just gotta let it run. So she just pulls my head back in front of everyone again, and then I had to write down that I had a nosebleed. She literally tortured me until I passed out when I was asleep. That was basically it. But that was like the worst day. Like, that day is just stuck in my head for ages, seriously. But that is what happened, and I have crazy stories like that, like, mentally, like, because I was so clumsy when I was younger, I would have so many, like, accidents. I would fall over, loads of things would happen. Okay, my life has just been very interesting so far. But yeah, that's basically it, really. That's kind of the story of what happened, and I'm fine.